For this video, we're going to have a parallelogram. So first, let's have the properties of parallelogram. So when we say properties of parallelogram, meron tayong anim. So that are both pairs of opposite sides are parallel, both pairs of opposite sides are congruent, therefore dapat they have the same shape and same size, and one pair of opposite side is parallel and congruent. So we have proved it on the properties of our parallelogram on the first and the second. And the fourth is both pairs of opposite sides are congruent, or opposite angles are congruent, and the consecutive angles are supplementary, and the last one is the diagonals bisect each other. So these properties of parallelogram, i-apply natin siya to our polygon, which is our parallelogram. So now let's try to have this one first. So first, let's try to name a plane figure or our quadrilateral. So we have here a quadrilateral FILE. Since meron tayong mga different types of quadrilateral, then we can name it specifically like parallelogram, FILE. So, paano ba tayo nagne-name ng ating parallelogram or the quadrilaterals or plane figure? So, first, we start with the name of the quadrilateral or the polygon. Since this polygon is a parallelogram, so we name it as a parallelogram. Then after that is, we name our parallelogram based on the letter of the vertex that we have. Since we have the 4 vertex, therefore our name of parallelogram has 4 letters. So dapat chronologically arrange ang ating name in our polygon. So for example, FILE. So magkakasunod sila. So it can also name as parallelogram. We can start at any vertex basta magkakasunod-sunod yung 4 letters natin. For example, let's start with I. So we can start with parallelogram I. Then if you go to clockwise, then I, L, E, then F. So this is parallelogram ILEF. Then we can also start with vertex I, then the rotation will be counterclockwise. So we can name it as parallelogram IFEL. So this is parallelogram IFEL. So we can also name another parallelogram. We can start at another vertex, so which is L. So we can name it as parallelogram LEFI. So this is parallelogram LEFI. And also, another naming of parallelogram, instead of writing the parallelogram word, we can use the symbol of parallelogram or the shape parallelogram. So we can say that this is parallelogram LIFE. So this is parallelogram LIFE. So these are the possible names of our quadrilateral. First, the name of the plane figure that we have, and the second is the vertex or the letter of the vertex that we have, but it was arranged chronologically, whether it is in clockwise or counterclockwise. Okay, since now we know how to name our quadrilateral, now let's proceed now with our congruency and parallel of the opposite sides. So here, we are going to identify the opposite sides that is parallel and also congruent to the given line. Okay, so if you're going to recall the symbols that we have the parallel symbol, congruent symbol, and of course the line or the line segment symbol. So always remember when to use the symbols that we need. Okay, so now let's proceed with identifying the opposite sides or the parallel opposite sides that is parallel to the given line that we have. So first is we have the line FI. So when we say, or if we're going to find the parallel side of our given line, so titignan lang natin yung line kung saan siya parallel. Okay, so now, without considering the shape of our shape or size of our opposite side. So the parallel or the opposite side that is parallel to line FI or line segment FI. So this is the line segment FI. Okay? So yung parallel side niya is yung ating line segment LE. So we can say that FI or line FI is parallel to line LE. So this is the lines that are parallel. Next is, let's have the line IL. So this is our line IL, yung nasa itaas. So the parallel or the opposite side that is parallel to this line is yung ating line or the line segment FE. So we can name our line as based on the vertex that we have. Okay, so now we are done naming or identifying the opposite sides of the parallel sides natin or parallel line. Now let's proceed with the congruent of the given line. So kapag sinabi natin congruent line, it should be or we should consider the same shape and the same size niya. Okay, so for example, this line FI should be congruent to what line? Okay, so not unlike in parallel, we can start with L or with E. Okay, but in our congruent, dapat same siya. Okay, so let's start with line FI. So this is our line FI. So this line is parallel to this side, but we must be sure if saan tayo mag-i-start, if it is L or if it is E. So to identify saan tayo mag-i-start kasi we need to see the congruency. So here, I have here the plane figure on the right side. This is also a parallelogram F, I, L, E. Okay? So ngayon, dito na natin i-consider yung pag-flip natin ng ating other parts of the parallelogram. So for example, we are here in FI. So kailangan makita natin yung congruency ni line FI. So therefore, since ito yung kaparallel ni FI, dapat makita natin that they are same shape. So paano po yun? So what are we going to do is to flip the shape. So pag pinlift natin siya, always remember kung saan na mapupunta si L at saka si E. So remember, on this vertex, nandito si L. On this vertex, nandito si E. And on this vertex, nandito si I. Once we flipped it, para makita natin na they are congruent, yan, let me show you that they are congruent. Ayan, they are same shape and as well they are same size. Kung makikita natin on our figure. Now, if they are congruent, now let's find out what is the congruent line of line FI. So, if si L ay nandito sa part dito kanina, now napunta na siya dito. Okay? Kasi finilip natin siya or ni-rotate natin si shape. So, again, if nandito si L, balik natin si shape sa original position niya. So, nakaganyan si original position. So, nandito si L. So, therefore, pag finlip natin or ni-rotate natin, napunta na doon si L. Okay? And next is, nandito na si E. Ayan. Nandito na si E natin. And also, nandito na rin si I natin. So, if you can see, once we are rotating the plane figure, the shape that we have, the part of our plane figure, then, nagro-rotate din si vertex natin. And also, the corresponding letters of the vertex. Okay? So, now, to identify, so ngayon nakita na natin that they are congruent and we have moved already the letters of the vertex. Now let's identify the congruence of line FI. So yung line FI natin is this part. So if nag-start tayo kay F which is sa baba, dapat dito sa ating parallel, mag-i-start din tayo sa baba. So therefore, the congruence of line FI from bottom to top, then the congruence is line LE. Magsisimula din dapat tayo sa baba, then sa taas natin. Okay? So now we have the congruence of line FI, which is the line LE. Okay, so now let's proceed now in identifying the congruence of line IL. Okay, so again, so if ever that you need to find the congruence line or congruence shape, you need to flip or rotate our shapes. Okay, so now we have the line IL. So yung line IL natin is here. Line IL, we start from right, then proceed to left. Okay? So therefore, kung sa right tayo nagsimula, then dapat sa kabila ay sa right din tayo. So kaya, the congruence of line IL is equal to, or it is congruent to line EM. So if you can see, nag-start din tayo kay right side, then proceed tayo kay left side. So that is congruence to line IL. Okay? So now we know how to find the parallel side of the opposite side of the given parallelogram, and as well the congruent side of the given line natin. Okay, so now after identifying the congruence and the parallel of the given line, now let's proceed in identifying our angles. Okay, so the congruence or the equal angles natin. Okay, so if you can see here, no, ang ating naming of our angles is one angle. So meron tayong angle F, angle I, angle E, and angle L. Okay, so but in naming our angles, we can also use three letters. Okay, so for example, angle F. So si angle F is equivalent kay angle IFE or angle EFI. Bakit po? Kasi this angle IFE, ang kinukuha pa rin natin sa kanya is angle F. And yung angle EFI ay kinukuha pa rin natin yung angle lang ni F. But what is the difference of the two? Okay? O ano ba yung pinagkaiba ng dalawa? Bakit kailangan three letters pa? How can we identify na yun yung angle na kukunin natin? So, if we are going to use the three angles, kung ano yung nasa middle or yung middle letter natin, yun yung angle na kinukuha natin. That's why we have here angle F is equal to angle IFE or angle EFI. So, if you are going to observe, si angle F natin ay nasa middle. Therefore, siya yung pagbabasihan natin or siya yung, ibig sabihin, siya yung kukuhanan natin ng angle natin. Okay, so now let's try to identify the angle or equivalent angle of the given using the three letters. Okay, so let's start with angle I. So yung angle I natin is equivalent to, so dapat nasa gitna si angle I. So therefore, it is angle, or we can start with angle F, then proceed kay I, and then L. So now we have angle FIL. Or another name of angle I is, we can start with L on the other side. So angle L, then proceed with the middle I and F. So this is the equivalent of angle I, which is angle FIL or angle LIF. Okay, so now let's proceed with the second one. So angle L is equal to, so angle L tayo. So it is equal to angle ILE or it is angle ELI. So kung makikita natin nasa gitna si L, therefore we are getting the measurement of our angle L. Okay, so next is angle E naman natin. So si angle E dapat nasa middle siya, so that we can consider that we are getting the measurement of our angle E. Okay, so now let's have the naming of our angle using the three letters. Let's have the angle E. So we have angle L, E, and F, or we have the angle F, E, and L. So if you can observe, our angle E ay nasa middle of the three letters. So this is how we name our angles using the three letters. Okay, so now we know how to name our angles in three letters. Now let's proceed, o alam na din natin if meron tayong angles using the three letters, alam na din natin kung ano yung angles na kinukuha natin or kung anong angles yung dinidescribe natin. Okay? So now let's have the congruency. Paano naman natin makukuha yung congruence ng ating angle? Okay? So aside sa pag-identify natin ng ating opposite angle, then we should also consider the shapes of our angles or yung dinedefine natin. Okay? So let's have an example. So si angle I, FE, eto po siya. Angle I, F, and E. O, this angle. So dapat, kung nag-start tayo kay I, which is sa taas, tapos pababa to right, then dapat ganun din yung ating measurement or ganun din dapat si congruency natin na angle. So let's have here the plane figure that I have on the left side. So for example, okay, so let's not use this first, or let's use this parallelogram. So for example, this parallelogram is our F, I, L, E. Okay? So now, kailangan makita muna natin. So this angle yung kinuha natin kanina. And dapat congruent siya kay E, L, I. Okay? So bakit siya nagsimula sa ilalim? Kay E, tapos L, then I. Kasi once we rotate the shape here or the other side of our parallelogram, magiging congruent siya. Okay? Congruent na ito. So kapag naging congruent ito, always remember na saan na ngayon si E. So balik natin sa original niya. So si E nandito sa part na to. On this part. Okay? So si I ay nandito, si L ay nandito. So once we rotate our shape, tandaan kung saan mapupunta si E, si I at saka si L. So si E ay napunta na ngayon dito sa taas. E, si L napunta na ngayon sa baba at si I ay napunta on the right corner natin of our triangle. Ngayon, if kanina nag-start tayo kay angle I or start tayo kay I, then F, then E. So dapat mag-start din tayo sa taas. So therefore, we have angle E, L, and I. So therefore, we can say that they are congruent. Kasi we start with IF or line IF, which is yung IF natin is congruent kay EL. And si FE naman natin is congruent kay LI. So therefore, yung pagkakasunod-sunod ng letters natin is also congruent or same measurement with our angle. Okay? So now, since we know now already the congruence of angle IFE, which is si angle ELI, now let's proceed in identifying the congruence of angle F, E, L natin. So now, let's proceed. Eto na ngayon yung hinahanap natin, angle FEL. Okay, so we can proceed on the other plane figure that we have. So this is F, I, L, and E. So eto yung hinahanapan natin ng congruence. This side. So ngayon, tandaan ulit nasan si F. So nandito si F, nandito si I, at nandito naman si L. So pag pinilit natin si shape, tandaan saan mapupunta si F, I, at saka L natin. So we can see that they are congruent. Congruent sila. They have the same shape. Okay? So now, let's have our congruence niya. So sa congruence niya, meron tayong nandito na ngayon si L, nandito na ngayon si I, at nandito na si F. Okay? So, kasi ni-rotate natin. So, therefore, kung nag-start tayo kay left, dapat mag-i-start din tayo kay left, which is L. So, therefore, we have angle L, I, and F. So, the congruence of angle FEL is the angle LIF. Okay? So, this is how we identify the congruence of our angle. Okay? So here, hindi lang si angle yung hinahanapan natin ng congruence, or we can identify the congruency. We can also identify the congruence triangle of our given. So for example, meron tayong F, I, L, E. So this is F, I, L, and E. So let's try to find the following congruence triangle. So for example, meron tayong vertex na S, or vertex, we have the mid or intersection S, o kung saan nag-intersect si diagonal natin. Okay? So if we are going to find the congruence of triangle I, S, and F, which is eto siya, kailangan makita natin yung congruence triangle niya. Okay? Since the congruence triangle niya is on the other side, which is etong green, now let's see if they are congruent. So flip natin si triangle. Then, kapag nilagay natin dito, they have the same measurement or same shape. So, rotate pa natin para makita natin that they are same shape. Okay? So, it means they are congruent. So, kung ni-rotate natin to from the original, what happened to our letters? So, nag-change yung position ng letters natin. So, magiging E, yung nandito sa top, magiging L dito, at of course, yung center natin is yung S natin. So, therefore, kung nag-start tayo kay I sa taas, then from the, and next is the intersection, therefore, the congruence triangle of ISF is E, triangle E, then S tayo, then L. So, kung nakikita nyo yung pattern natin, pag ganun yung ating pag-name ng triangle natin. Okay? So now, eto yung naming of congruence of triangle natin. So how about the next triangle natin? For example, what is the congruence triangle of F, S, and E? So ibig sabihin, the congruence of that is, eto yung side na congruence siya. So pag pinilift natin, pag ni-rotate natin, so we can see that they have the same shape as well the same size. So therefore, nasa na ngayon si measurement o si L natin. So nandito na si L, nandito na si I, at nandito na si S. Okay? So saan tayo nag-start kanina? Sa left side, tapos sa intersection, then sa right side. So therefore, we start with triangle L sa left side, sa intersection which is S, and then sa ating right corner which is yung I natin. So now we have already found the congruence of our given triangle. Okay? So ngayon alam na natin how to find the congruence of our given triangle. Now let's proceed. Now let's proceed with with finding the missing measurement of the angles and also yung ating sides. Okay, so first, kay angles muna tayo. So how can we find the missing angles or missing measurement of our angles? Okay, so always remember the properties of parallelogram and of course the given measurement of our parallelogram. So we have here the parallelogram FILE, and of course we have here the given below. Angle F is 80 degrees. So it means this whole angle or this whole corner, pag pinag-add si angle 3 and angle 4, it must be 80 degree. Okay? So si angle 2, pag sinabi nating angle 2, ibig sabihin part lang siya ni angle L. So si angle 2 is equal to 35 degrees and si angle 5 is equal to 55 degrees. Okay? So, ngayon, hahanapin natin yung mga measurements ng ating given angle. Okay? So, now, let's try to find the given angle. So, we have here angle I. So, kailangan hanapin natin si measurement ng angle I natin. Okay? So, to find the measurement of angle I, so, dapat the two consecutive angles natin is equal to 180 degrees since it is from the properties of our parallelogram. Okay? So now, if angle F is 80 degrees, so dapat angle F plus angle I natin must be 180 degrees kasi dapat the consecutive angles should be equal to supplementary angle. Since angle F is 80 degrees and angle I ay wala pa, then must be equal 180 degree. So the method is to transpose lang natin to find the angle I. So, angle I is equal to 180 degrees minus 80 degrees kasi pag nag-transpose tayo, it will change the sign. So, angle I is equal now to 100 degrees. So, therefore, the measurement of our whole angle I is 100 degrees. So, ibig sabihin, pag pinag-add si angle 5 and angle 6, it must be 100 degree. So now we have found already the measurement of angle I, which is 100 degrees. Okay? Next is we need to find the angle L. What is the measurement of angle L? Same process tayo, or we need to look for the opposite angles of our given angle. So, kapag ginawa natin si consecutive angle, then what are we going to do is just subtract the angle I to 180 degrees. Then, it is equal to 80 degree. Okay? Or, the opposite angle of angle L is angle F, and angle F is 80 degree. They are congruent. So, therefore, angle L is also 80 degree. Okay? Next is, we have already found the angle I and angle L. Now let's try to find what is the measurement of angle 3. So how can we find what is the measurement of angle 3? Okay? So now if angle 2 is 35 degree, so kapag ginamitan natin siya ng congruency, saan siya congruent? So once we flip kapag pinilift natin yung ating shapes. So, ang mangyayari sa ating shapes ay, so, this one. Let's have this one. So, this is angle. So, let's say angle 1 and angle 2. Okay? And this one is angle 4 and angle 3. So, kung saan siya congruent, yun yung kaparehan niyang measurement. So, si angle 2 ay congruent kay angle 4. So, pag finlift natin, nasa na ngayon si angle 2? So, magpapalit sila. Nandito na ngayon si angle 2 at nandito si angle 1. So, si angle 2 is congruent kay angle 4. Therefore, angle 4 is equal to 35 degrees. Okay? Now, we have already found angle 4, 35 degrees. So, ngayon, how can we found or paano natin makahanap yung ating angle 3? So, since angle F is 80 degree, dapat 80 degree ang buong ito. So, ang gagawin natin, angle 3 plus angle 4 must be equal to 80 degrees. Since angle 4 is 35 degrees and angle 3 wala pa tayo, then it is equal to 80 degrees, transpose ulit tayo. Angle 3 is equal to 80 degrees. Subtract natin kay 35 degrees. Then it is equal to 45 degrees. Okay? So, therefore, angle 3 is 45 degrees. Since angle 3 is congruent kay angle 1 natin, therefore, angle 1 is considered as 45 degree as well. Okay? 45 degree. Okay? So, now next is yung angle E natin. Sabi natin, it is opposite side of angle I. So, therefore, angle E is equal to 100 degrees. Okay? So, next is angle 6, 7, and 8 naman yung hahanapin natin. So, angle 6, how can we solve angle 6? Okay? So, what are we going to do? Same process. Angle I is 100 degrees, but angle 5 is 55 degrees. So, subtract lang natin, and that would be the measurement of angle 6. So, 100 degrees minus 55 degrees is equal to 45 degree. Okay? So, bakit po siya 45 degree? Kapag pinag-add natin si angle 5 and 6, dapat 100 degrees siya. So, therefore, 55 degrees plus 45 degrees is equal to 100 degrees, which is the measurement of the whole angle I. Okay? O ngayon, so kapag hinanapan naman natin siya ng congruency, angle C is congruent. O eto, kapag ni-rotate natin, angle 5, angle 6, angle 7, and angle 8. So kapag ni-rotate natin siya, ang congruent ni angle 6 is angle 7. So si angle 6 is 45 degree, therefore angle 7 is 45 degree as well. Okay? Since angle 5 is congruent kay angle 8, so angle 8 is equal to 55 degrees. So yun lang yung hahanapin natin, yung congruency nila. Okay? So now, if we have already found the missing angles of our given parallelogram, ngayon hahanapin naman natin yung missing measurement of our sides. Okay? So now, missing sides or missing line segment natin. Okay? So we have here the given as well the diagonal FL, which is 8 cm. Ibig sabihin, etong buong diagonal natin, 8 cm. Okay? And yung diagonal EI natin is 7 cm. Since if we're going to go back with our properties of parallelogram, sabi that each diagonals of our parallelogram is bisected to each other. Pag sinabi natin bisected, hinati siya into two equal parts. So kung ibig sabihin, if we're going to look for the measurement of line segment FS, o this part lang, o FS, therefore, it is 4 cm. Bakit siya 4 cm? Kasi dapat hahatiin natin yung FL into two equal parts. Since ang FL natin is 8 cm, therefore, kapag dinivide natin siya into two equal parts, this is 4 cm and LS natin is 4 cm as well. Bakit siya 4 cm? We have the symbol that they have the same measurement. Okay, so FS is 4 cm and yung ating LS is also 4 cm. Okay, next naman natin yung IS natin and ES. So yung IE natin or EI natin is equal to 7 cm. So pag binisect natin siya into two equal parts, then that is 3.5 cm. So therefore, this part is 3.5 cm and since they have the same measurement, therefore, it is also 3.5 cm. So, kaya yung IS natin 3.5 cm and yung ES natin is also 3.5 cm. So, now we already have the measurement of our line segment of our diagonal. So, this is how we find the missing angles and sides and of course an angles of our parallelogram.